Good morning. We are doing chapter 5 from the Uddhava Gita. We had completed verse 1 yesterday. So we are going to do verse 2 onwards. This is Uddhava Gita, chapter 5, verse 2 onwards. With a purified mind, he should notice the reverse that befalls all undertakings of people who are attached to sense objects, considering them as real. Now, Krishna is explaining to Uddhava, and he says that first, in the last verse, he had said, you have to do everything in a detached spirit, in a detached mind. Now he's saying that you have to observe other people. What happens to other people? With a purified mind, he should notice the reverse that befell all undertakings of people who are attached to sense objects, considering them as real. So, what is your job? Your job, if you are in spirituality, your job is to watch other people, notice what they have got into. The sense objects that exist in this world, let us say, for example, multiple cars that people own. Now, when people own X number of cars, what happens to them? Their life, where it's hardly one or two people in the house and they have to go around in 7 or 8 cars that they own, maintaining them, taking care of them, upgrading them constantly. That means, suppose the person has got an old model of a particular kind, he has to upgrade it. And then the pollution norms that are coming into play, and so on and so forth. The upgradation is important. The money that goes into it, the time that goes into it, to go and select a car takes 1 or 2 days, or maybe a couple of days if you are taking a loan or something. How much of tension, how much of issues are there in life? And then you have to take it for service, and services again you got to pay through your nose. Now, suppose you are driving in a city condition, you need drivers. So, when you need the drivers, the driver has to be paid. So, let us say you are paying a certain amount to the driver, the money has to come from somewhere. Now, some of the drivers are truthful, some of them are not. Some of them will steal the petrol, diesel, they'll take some spare parts and something like that, and they will sell it in the marketplace. They also want to make money, they also want to make a quick money. There are lots of things that go wrong with the car also. Sometimes you meet with an accident and you have to take care of insurance. So how many troubles have you got on yourself when you own a car? And imagine owning 6, 7, 8, 9 cars. Hardly anybody to drive around. People are getting paid for no rhyme or reason. Again, now if you are dependent on a driver and the driver falls sick, or he goes to his native place, or he doesn't turn up, then you get into a bigger trouble. Then you don't know how to order a Uber or Ola or something like that. Then you are getting into still deeper and deeper trouble. This is just about one object called a car. Let us say you own a house. How many troubles does a person have when a person owns a house? First and foremost, buying it is a very, very big pain. You have to see hundreds and hundreds of houses before you zero onto the place that you want. You have taken pains to get that place. Then the payment schedules. After that, taking possession. You think possessing anything is easy? Go for a possession of a house, you will understand how difficult it is. You have to go through courts and this and that and register. Oh my God, you cannot even imagine. You require lawyers, agents, and so many things. And now let us say you have bought the house. After buying the house, it is not easy again. You have to decorate it. Now there are certain houses which not only require a specific kind of a decoration, you require an interior designer for the house. You may require an architect again to redesign the whole place. Now the house doesn't come alone. It comes with the terrace, it comes with the garden, it comes with the portico, it comes with so many other things. You require lighting, you require water connections, you just imagine, even if you have a small lawn, the lawn has to be mowed. How many troubles are connected to it? This is what you got to notice. Notice what the person who has bought the house goes into. And then the maintenance of it, and then it's taken care of, and then finally, let us come to the end of the line where the problem of you have a house in which you have been staying for 10, 12 years. Now you have become old, or maybe you want to sell it. Which house gets sold instantly in India? Not a single. The first house that I bought way back in time, I couldn't sell it at all. Finally, somebody gave me some money, and 1 year later, I just wrote the house and gave it away. The second house, which was one of the prime properties, it took me 1 whole year to sell the place. And I'm not joking. The number of advertisements I had to put are unimaginable. The third house that was owned by me, it took, I think, more than 2 years to sell. It was not easy at all. Selling itself is a very, very big thing. And then how the money comes in, what happens, and so on and so forth. It's a painful process, believe me. Now let us say you have the house and you are an old person staying over there. Now this old man has an issue. There are 2, 3 children. How do you divide the property between them? If you give the house to someone, the other person is going to get upset. Or if you want to sell the place and then give the money, but where are you going to stay? You got the point? Where are you going to stay? Now let us say one more example I'll give. The person dies intestate. That means without writing a will. Do you know the number of troubles that a person has to go through? I have one disciple of mine who has to come all the way traveling tens of thousands of kilometers because there is intestate. That means his father died without leaving a will. The entire family, his brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, name it. Everybody is after, like a vulture, after that property. I want it, I want it, I want it. I saw it on his body was lying over there, and there were 10 people fighting over the property. Today, many years have gone. The issue is still not sorted out. So can you imagine? Even owning a property so many years later also can create problems. Now, these are 2 major issues. Let us take minor issues, small issues. Small issues which are like, say for example, you have a kid and the kid owns a toy. He owns it. He says, this is my toy. Okay, and it may be a small train, or it may be a bat, or it may be some such kind of a thing. Maybe it's a doll. The girl has a small doll and the doll is very pretty. Some other child comes at home and that child picks up this doll. You know how much trouble it is for this child? Because ownership has created so many issues. In our place also, there are gods. Gods are there, so many. Tens of gods are there. Now, when you own a god, You just don't own that blessed image. You have to decorate it, which means you have to buy clothes for that god. You have to buy some bangles and all kinds of stuff, and you can't have the same thing for the next occasion. You got to wash them, you got to clean them. And if you put flowers, the flowers have to be changed. The water has to be changed. If you have one small diya, the diya's oil has to be changed. The wick has to be changed. It has to be washed. The washing itself may take one whole day. Do you know how painful it is? Just because you show ownership of certain items or certain things. These were things. Now let us go to relationships. The relationship is a very, very dicey one. When the mother owns the child, mummy, 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 the child keeps on saying. And the mother is saying, this is my baby. When the baby becomes 20 years old, also it is still her baby. When the baby becomes 40 years old, also still it is the baby. What baby are you talking about? That girl or that woman or that man will be 40 years old, you're still calling him or her baby? How ridiculous. And then, if the baby gets married to someone or falls in love with someone, that's the end of the world. Relationships go out of the window. And then, if the person does something, or if the mother does something, the relationships are up. So you can see, you should notice the reverses. These are called the reverses that fall. Relationships can go out of the window when you start having this kind of relationship with objects or people. I gave you some cars, some house, human relationships. Now let us talk about a husband and a wife relationship. You may say the husband and wife relationship is very unique. I met my wife, I fell in love with her, I got married to her. There is a very beautiful song, one of the old films, in which the hero sings to the heroine. She's a very beautiful woman. So he says, तुम्हें कोई और देखे तो जलता है दिल. Okay, if somebody is looking at you, my heart is burning. I want to smash that fellow. Aha. So you want to possess your wife, and the wife wants to possess her husband. I was seeing one small meme, we call it, in Instagram, where the man is looking like this at the game. Okay, his wife is sitting next to him, and just behind him, standing over here, just behind him is a buxom blonde or some very big person, a very beautiful lady. And the meme says, if he turns around, his relationship will go out of the window. Because he is going to turn around to see that beautiful woman. And his wife is going to say, why are you looking at her? This is what it means. Sense objects. That woman is a sense object. Okay. Just imagine you have made certain things at home. Let us say a puran poli. Now the puran poli which the wife has made, the husband says, oh, it is nice. And suddenly the husband's mother brings a dabba full of puran poli. And he looks at his mother and says, these are the ones I really love. He's had it. You understand? His wife is going to make his life miserable. She will say, oh, you don't like what I have made. You are always, that mummy's son. You always like what she does. You have never liked anything that I make. Sense object. Taste. Think. Certain households, The woman may go to the mother's place, and from there she will get a sari or some such kind of a garment, and she will possess it as if it is the best thing on planet Earth that has come. The husband may ask her, "What is so special about the sari?" "My mother has given me. My mother has given me. That is why it is special." It is trash. That sari is cheap. It is not even silk. It is synthetic sari and it is palmed off as silk. No, no, this my mother has given, so I got to preserve it. You see the whole point of it? This is fruitless. So what Krishna says is, with a purified mind, you got to have a purified mind. Can you see these things? Can you watch these things around you, people around you, and understand the futility of everything? The relationships with the people or the relationship with things. All that is fruitless. This is what he says. With a purified mind, you should notice the reverses that befall. The undertakings of people who are attached to sense objects, considering them as real. He considers them as real. The relationships, people think they are so real. My son, my daughter, my husband, my wife, my children, my boyfriend, my this one, what? My house, my car, my painting. I don't know what all things people want to own. Everything that you think you own is going to cause you misery. And this is the truth which person has to understand. Do you think Krishna is talking nonsense? I don't think Krishna ever says anything wrong. You got to know everything in the world is full of misery alone. And the person thinks those objects are real. Nothing is real in this world. But the understanding that it is real, when it affects you a lot. You know what affects you? Your husband gives two galis. Okay. He gives you some bad words. You are going to remember it all your life. He slapped me. He gave me galis. What? And the woman may say something wrong. Say something bad about the husband. Your mother is useless, she will say. You had it. A person will remember this throughout the life and will make the other person's life miserable. And Krishna says they think it is real. All these things, the person believes it is so real. This verse will tell you, can you use that 4 anna brain that God has given? You know why 4 anna I am saying? 4 anna means 25 paisa brain. Because 75 paisa brain, you have flushed it down the toilet. Never used. So use that 25 paisa brain and just think what he is saying. He is saying that all these possessions that you think of are just useless. Okay, so now we will move to verse number 3. Uddhava Gita chapter 5 verse 3. As the vision of sense objects by a sleeping man or the fancies of a man absorbed in reverie are unreal, since they are ever changing by their very nature, so is the notion of a diversity of objects outside by means of sense organs. Krishna has given an example of a sleeping man. You see, when the man is sleeping, he may be dreaming of something. He is dreaming that he is eating the most delicious meal somewhere. And he wakes up, okay, and imagine in the dream, finally he has finished the meal and he is very happy, and he is drinking a glass of water, okay, and suddenly the dream breaks. Tuk. And he finds his dog is licking his lips. You know how big a trouble that person is. He was just now eating a nice meal in his dream, and when he woke up, suddenly he sees his dog is licking all over his face. Yuck, you will say. What yuck? Can you imagine that yuck? What was real? Is this dog licking the face is real, or is that delicious meal is real? So this is what he says. It's a vision of sense objects by a sleeping man. The person who is sleeping is seeing some sense objects. Krishna says, think that everything in this world that is happening to you is nothing but like a dream. It's a dream. A man is absorbed in a reverie as unreal. It is all unreal. But how real does it feel? The relationships with mother-in-laws. She is a demon. She tortures me. She does this, she does that. And every serial in all these channels are talking of relationships. Husband, wife, children, mothers, fathers, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, relatives, friends, everybody is out to kill another person and do something to him. Maybe poison their minds or do something. Have you not seen those villainous ladies? With their eyebrows raised like this. I can still imagine Lalita Pawar in those kind of roles. In olden times we used to have those people. and they are like that Ravan from some of the serials. The Ravan, I don't know why the hell would Ravan laugh. Ha, 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 ha. And why does that Santa Claus also laugh? Nobody understands. Okay? Why is he laughing? You think Ravan is enjoying that, female in front of him, ha, 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 and big mustache. Maybe Ravan doesn't even have a mustache. How do you know? These are all false premises. We have just thought that that is what happened. There is nothing like that. But it is just a concoction of the mind. Somebody's fantastic imagination has created creatures like these demons in our world. And then the gods. First and foremost, they don't have a mustache, they don't have a beard, they don't have anything, and they are so clean and they look half like a woman only. I mean, I've never understood why a god has to look like that. Sexy woman. I mean, it is wrong. It's a portrayal. Why is Jesus Christ with that beard? Have you ever thought of it? You think with the long hair and the beard and all. Is this how Jesus Christ looked like? Sir, the beard, okay, may grow for a few days and after that he may go and shave also. Who knows? So one day when you take a picture of him, he may be without his beard. You may not even recognize him. So this idea created by the mind is all fake. The idea that I have a loving husband, I had some people who said, even after so many years, my husband loves me so much. I mean, I didn't ask this question, but I just said nicely. I said, during your honeymoon days, your husband had only eyes for you, and 24/7 he was only looking at you, thinking of you, and doing, and he was basically interested in having, rounds and rounds of sex. Do you think now he cares for that? He doesn't even give a damn to you. What you are talking about? So the idea was, there are so many things occupied in his mind just now. There is children, there is office, there is this, there is that. Now that is exactly what we say, no? Single pointed devotion. What does unconditional love mean? If you have unconditional love, how can other objects come into the picture? So do you understand? All this love and all this nonsense that a person talks about is all fake, bullshit and nonsense. That doesn't exist. Unconditional love doesn't exist. Krishna is saying these words. Please remember these words. It doesn't exist. Single pointed devotion for any human being doesn't exist. Let us say there is a person in front of you. Okay. All right. And the girl is looking at the boy intently, saying, such a handsome guy. Wow, 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 wow. And just behind this person, Salman Khan or Hrithik Roshan appears. You think the girl is going to look at him or is she going to look at Hrithik Roshan? Naturally, she will want to look at Hrithik Roshan. The husband or the boyfriend is not as handsome as Hrithik Roshan. And ask any girl, she is fallen in love with all these Salman Khans and Hrithik Roshans of this world. Okay, there is no way in which you can't do that. So where is this single pointed devotion? Doesn't exist. Where is this unconditional love? Never existed. It's just a false screen. This is the truth. So what he says is, these are the fancies of a man absorbed in a dream. Sometimes it's a nightmare. You know what is a nightmare? Everything goes wrong. You are being eaten by some devil. You have been getting murdered. You are falling off a cliff. These are called nightmares. There are some devils running after you. All that Jason. I mean, some of you might have seen all those movies. Okay? Or the girl's head turning around. Exorcist or Omen or one of those dangerous movies. And you have them in your dream. Like that, in the material world also, when you are awake, you have people who are worse than Jason in life. You understand what I'm talking? Or it might be the Joker. He is out to kill you. He is out to murder you. He is out to slay you, do something to you. In the material world, outside, in this actually waking state that you seem to have a waking state, you are always troubled. Somebody is your enemy. What does Krishna say over here? Since they are ever changing by their very nature, everything is changing just like a dream, no? The dream keeps on changing every day. In this way, the whole world changes. Your mother becomes your own villain in life, by the way, someday. Okay? Or someday, the wife or the husband, they become your enemies, so they become ex-husband and ex-wife. I divorced him, he's my ex, Oh, ex. And just now there is a Y. And then there is going to be a Z also. After that, I don't know. Double A, double B, double C. Okay, so did you get the point? The idea is, you seem to have this crazy notion that, oh, this is one all. I have some people, by the way, I met one idiot in life who said, I met my soulmate. Soulmate? What are you talking about? There is no such thing as soulmate in this world. It's all unreal. It's all nonsense. There are no soulmates. Okay? You think you have met a soulmate. And then the soulmate comes and stabs you in the back. He has got multiple girlfriends. What happened to the soulmate? Okay, nothing happened. He left a big hole mate in your heart. Okay, big hole in your heart. And you say, oh, I am so unhappy. Okay, you are so unhappy for what reason? You think you met your soulmate. There is no concept of a soulmate. Understand this? Every human being is a dog. Dog means a bitch also, by the way. Every person is like this. Because human beings are fallible. This is what Krishna is saying. Since they are ever changing in nature, no human being can stick to anything. One day they will say one thing, tomorrow they will say another thing, day after tomorrow one more thing. I love you so much one day. Second day, I hate you. The third day, good riddance to bad rubbish. What happened to all that relationship? It doesn't exist. So the notion of diversity of objects outside by means of the sense organs. The sense organs gives us this kind of a feeling, oh, there are such nice things and there are such bad things. All this is because of the sense objects, and everything is just like a dream. Actually, nothing exists like that. All right. So this is what Krishna says. You are in a dream state. Don't bother your head so much about. So what is the answer? So we move to verse 4. So we are doing chapter 5 from the Uddhava Gita, verse 4. Intent on me. One should give up actions that continue transmigration and perform those actions that conduce to cessation of it. Being thoroughly launched on the quest for truth, he should pay no attention to the injunctions of work. Krishna is telling Uddhava a very, very important verse. He is saying something very, very important. Don't get carried away by all this nonsense that happens in your world. Somebody is doing good to you, somebody is doing bad to you, somebody has given you a sari, somebody has given you a gift, somebody has said you are the best thing, you are so beautiful. All that is unreal. Somebody has said you are the worst creature on earth, he has backstabbed, has done so many bad things, you have got a terrible bosses, you have got bad friends. I mean, they can't be called friends, they are called enemies. All this is unreal. There is nothing real in any of these things. He says, then there is a way out of all these things. Can you just focus on me? Just focus on Krishna alone. Intent on me. Just put your intentions only at my feet. One should give up actions that continue transmigration. Can you stop doing those actions which make you come life after life after life after life after life? I will give one example over here. Suppose you have a terrible mother-in-law. The entire life you keep on trashing your mother-in-law and say, she is a bad woman, she is a bad woman, she is a bad woman. Now what happens? How does transmigration happen? Let us say you are in spiritual. You can understand the good and the bad and the likes and the dislikes in your life. But in spirituality, there is nothing like good and bad. There is nothing like and dislike. The moment you think your mother-in-law is doing something, the thought appearing in your mind. Your mother-in-law might have done something 10 years ago or 20 years ago. When you are getting married, at that time, the mother-in-law has said certain bad words. I'm getting the worst daughter-in-law or son-in-law in my life. Just imagine these are the words used. The mother-in-law might have said, कितना काला है, कितना गंदा दिखता है, उसके पास तो पैसा भी नहीं है. You know, he's so dark and ugly looking. He doesn't even have money. If this is what your mother-in-law has said, or if it is a daughter-in-law, then what happens? और शी कल मुही मेरे घर में आई. You know, these are typical Hindi dialogues they see in all the serials and the movies. She has come to blacken my face. She has brought all the filth from her parents over here. You know what? The same person who has come to stay in that house, and if that daughter-in-law or the mother-in-law keep on thinking about the same person over and over and over and over, every time when the person thinks, they are extending one lifetime. Suppose you think of the object once again. See, I'm giving one more example over here to offset what I'm saying. Suppose you have eaten a very good ice cream. Okay? That was a wonderful ice cream. You said these words once. After 15 days, you still remember that ice cream tasted so nice. After 2 years, you are again saying the same thing. Maybe after 10 years, you still recollect it. The ice cream tasted so nice. Today I tell you, there is no such ice cream available. Or another example, my mother-in-law, she tried to poison me. One day when I was sick, she didn't even come to see me. Now this happened in the year 1997. It is 2007, and the person is still thinking, she's a villainous character. She doesn't even care. She's done this to me. In 2019 also the same story is repeated once again. Every time it appears in the mind of that person, whether the person is material worldly or spiritual. Think, what is Krishna saying over here? He's talking to a spiritual Uddhava. If that object appears in your world once again in your mind and has spoiled your day, you are 100% going for transmigration. You have thought about the object 3 times, 3 transmigrations you have sanctioned yourself. If you have thought about that object 20,000 times, sorry boss, 20,000 times you have to meet the same person. So if that 20,000 times you have thought bad about your mother-in-law, I am sorry. No Krishna in this world, no God in this world can save you. That is what he's saying. Always have intentions on me. One should give up actions that constitute or continue transmigration and perform those actions that conduce to cessation. Can you stop that stupid thinking of yours? Can you not give it up? Can you stop that nonsense? Oh, I used to own this. I have given this money to this person. He has not returned it back. Suppose you have given money to someone and that person has not returned the money to you. I gave the money 10 years ago. He's still not returned. 20 years later also you're still saying, that person ran away with my money. Sorry, you have constituted an action by means of a thought. And this action, if you don't cease, stop it. You are going to transmigrate more and more and more and more. You have already sanctioned yourself lifetimes with this same person. The person you might have owed money to. Somebody has taken, say, a few lakhs from you. And you keep on saying the same words over and over again. You have to meet the same person in reverse order in some other life. How many times did you say this? 5,000 times? 5,000 times you are in the reverse position where that person has given you money and you are going to run away with it. This is transmigration. And when you run away with the money, that person is going to think of you just like you thought 5,000 times about that person. And when that person thinks of you, is again going to be a transmigration happening continuously. Why would you want to meet the same person over and over again? How is the way to stop it? There is only one way to stop it. Being thoroughly launched on the quest of truth, he should pay no attention to the injunctions of work. Person has to know the truth. What is the truth? Don't get involved in these kind of stupid actions. Don't say my boyfriend ditched me. Don't even say that. You will have to meet the same boyfriend in another life and ditch him. Got it? Why would you want to meet the same idiot again? My husband, he used to beat me. I wish somebody beats him. Nobody is going to beat him. Nobody. You will beat him in one future life. And if he has beaten you 10,000 times, and if you have thought 10,000 times about beating him or somebody beating him, you have transmigrated 10,000 times. Why are you such an idiot? Why don't you stop the activity there itself? Full stop. You have to do cessation by doing good things. Don't think about these people. Don't think about these objects. They have done it by the cycle of destiny. All actions happen because of destiny. So pay no attentions. That's what he says. You should launch the quest of truth. What is the truth in all these things? Why would you want to get involved in these activities in life? Why do you want to possess things and people and like and dislike? Say good things and bad things. Yes, doesn't matter. Somebody has made good Puran Poli. To the hell with it. Don't praise that person. Somebody has done some bad food. Why say bad things about the food? Don't bother your head about it. If you can eat it and get out of that place. Don't say, na, bahut acha banaya hai. Who cares? The moment you say, bahut acha banaya hai, in the next life, you have to make the same Puran Puli and give that idiot. And by the way, if you have a villainous mother or a father, why would you want to meet them again? I mean, think about it. If you are a terrible husband or a wife, why would you want to meet the same person again and again? Again, transmigration, why is it important to you? Got the whole point? So try to understand the truth. And the truth is not being given just now because it's a very deep subject. So pay no attention to these injunctions of work. Can you stop paying attention and giving so much of credibility to somebody doing wrong or somebody doing right? Oh, good dress, good this, good that. Don't say that. Bad person, backstab, did this to me, taken my money, all these things. Why are we so much involved in this? Why are you sanctioning yourself multiple lifetimes? I know all these lessons are very, very important, but you may think they are not important. How do you know? I was watching a movie called Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The chemistry between the actor and the actresses was palpating, it was really very, very good. In real life, they got married or something like that, and then they divorced. And then there are injunctions, there are restrictions. You can't meet this, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and property division and so many things. Then what happened to all that love? That's what Krishna is saying over here. All that is fake. Don't get involved in all this nonsense. Don't. Don't bother your head over somebody backstabbing you, somebody killing you, somebody doing something to you, running away with your money or your position, or you might have done something. I have given job to someone, I have given money to this one. Don't keep on saying that, because sorry boss, if you do that, this verse, please, ingrain it in your brains. He says, you will continue with transmigration. Nobody, no Krishna on this planet Earth or these heavens or hell can ever help you. No, he can never. So even if you are a sage, I'm sorry, there is no help there. Because transmigration is a subject which nobody can avoid, including the God himself. Got it? This is the answer. So kindly don't keep on dwelling on subjects which are going to put you back in that world. Conducive. Do those actions which are conducive in nature. Give up this kind of thinking. Don't say, I have given. Say, the Lord has used this body for giving. Most important, don't blame Krishna for it. Okay? He says, when your intentions is on me, I mean, can you stay in one house and be an enemy of that person? I mean, if you stay in India, can you say India is a bad country? No. If you are staying in United States, can you say US is the worst nation? No. Don't ever do that. When you say something bad about the country itself, or the nation, or the house, or the place where you stay, transmigration is 100% guaranteed. Why would you want to go into that gutter once again? Okay, so this verse we will end over here, verse number 4, and next time we will do verse 5 onwards. It's about intentions on Krishna, and we will do that. Okay, thank you. Have a very good day. Bye.